Hello and welcome to One Storyteller, because we like talking about stories that are told by one storyteller. That's a great name for this. I'm Reagan.
I'm Andrew.
He missed the cue this time. Let's go. What a good day. I have made him forget all of these things. So, basically, we have Chapter 3, Fellowship of the Ring, Chapter 3. And this is going to be, hopefully, somewhat shorter than last chapter.
Yeah.
Less to discuss, less to disagree on.
That's probably so.
Yeah. Less lore that requires deep delving, at least.
Less lore.
Yes. Certainly a lot that happens.
Yeah.
Cool. So should we just get into it? Any like first impressions you have from Chapter 3?
Oh, I think just the first, like Chapter 1 and Chapter 2 serve as two different kinds of introductions.
Yeah.
One of them is like a transition from Hobbit ideas, I think, to Lord of the Rings ideas.
Yeah.
And the second chapter is, here's kind of the scope of things that we're dealing with.
Yeah. So it's like a poetic, happy introduction and then like a lore heavy introduction. So it's like Genesis 1 and 2.
It is, you could make a comparison there.
Okay, interesting. Yeah, I mean the whole point of this chapter is leaving the Shire, and so all of any of the joy, peace, and comfort that have been built up from the first two chapters are kind of on their way out.
Now it's resembling an actual story.
Yeah. Yeah. Well, now the threat starts to enter, even just a little bit.
We're not just talking about things. It's the wheels of the story are turning now.
Yeah. It's not theory anymore. It's now going to be practice, at least.
Yeah. And
we'll develop that story as we keep on going a little bit further. So Frodo plans to leave. That's kind of the first couple of pages that happen here. He says he's going to leave. Gandalf doesn't leave him alone until he solidifies his plans. We'll chat about that in just a minute, I'm sure. He's going. He doesn't really know where he's going, and then Gandalf says, "You should go to Rivendell." And Frodo says, "Okay, I'll go to Rivendell. That seems cool."
Yeah.
But you have something on Rivendell.
Yeah.
Yes.
Since we're here on the first page.
Yeah, might as well.
Frodo is being such a pansy right now.
Okay.
Or he's being very immature. Like we see some of that in like the second chapter as well. He's like, "What?" But he's shocked. He's just been told he has a magic ring. But here he's really not helping Gandalf. Let's see if I can articulate this right.
Yeah.
Which is, yeah, like you're saying, Gandalf says, "Hey, you need to leave soon," and Frodo says, "Well, I can't just vanish."
Yeah.
And Gandalf's like, "Well, duh, you can't do that. I didn't say to do that."
You can normally walk away from this situation anytime you want to.
And Gandalf says, Frodo makes, it really is sort of a smart alecky comment the second time. He says, "As for where I'm going, it'd be difficult to give that away, for I have no clear idea myself." And Gandalf, again, he doesn't put up with this. He's like, "That's not what I meant, man."
Yeah.
Just be careful.
Yeah.
You see, I think we see Frodo, like he's nervous about this. Like the ring is a heavy burden.
Yeah.
It makes sense to be scared and off kilter, but he's being immature about it. Like you say like these half-formed or exaggerated things when you're just trying to put problems on someone else, which is what he's doing. Yeah. And Gandalf's like, "No, just you can answer these questions yourselves. Like, obviously, I didn't mean to vanish, or obviously, I didn't mean like the address or whatever."
Yeah.
But he's encouraging Frodo to start thinking through these things more carefully.
Yes, that could be part of it. It also says he's delaying until he celebrates his birthday, and then he's going to leave, right? He wants to hit Bilbo's age, and then once he hits Bilbo's age, he's going to be off. And so I wonder if this is not necessarily not like an indecision from a I don't want to make a choice point of view, but a I don't want to commit anything because I know it's going to be like 4 months before I actually leave, so I have time to work that out. I wonder if that's a way to read that.
I think it's
instead.
both of them.
Okay, could be.
And it's interesting. One thing we could have brought up in the last episode that we didn't really have time to bring up as well
We had a lot of other things going on.
was one of the flaws I think we see. One of the things that I'm most curious about when I reread through this book is seeing how often people like put things off or delay things.
Yeah.
Like Gandalf says, I was concerned about the ring like the year after Bilbo got it.
Only took me 80 years to figure it out.
It's not like he's sitting around twiddling his thumbs, but like that's still striking. Yeah. And I think we're meant to see that as kind of flaw on Gandalf's part. Even though there's like a lot of mitigating factors or whatever. Yeah. It's still something. Things would have been a lot easier, a lot better if Gandalf had acted sooner. Yeah. And so too, we'll see. Things would have been a lot easier if Frodo hadn't delayed. Mm-hmm. And Gandalf doesn't want him to delay, but he says, I guess that will be fine. Yeah. So,
and it is only barely fine because the night that he leaves is the night that a stranger comes to threaten him. And so like
could not have gotten any closer.
Yes. If he had left when Gandalf had told him to, actually, if Frodo just listened to what Gandalf told him to do, a lot of things would have gone better. Yeah. Yeah. So that's a theme you're going to see. Gandalf is slow, but he's generally right, is what I gather about his character. And that's okay. Slow is in timely wise, not slow is in like dumb.
No, I know.
Yeah. Okay, cool. Just clarifying, just to make sure there. They're going to Rivendell, which is interesting. That will fulfill the wish of Sam to go see the elves.
Yes, it will.
It will also fulfill what Bilbo did. Yeah, which is he went to Rivendell, and
first steps are a lot of similarities.
Yeah. So at this point, the quest is very unified, and the quest is really to get to Rivendell. I know it becomes a bigger quest later, but the point of the whole first book or first half of the Fellowship anyway is to get to Rivendell, and then like that's where the story pauses because that's the final resting place for the moment.
That's all that's in view so far. Yeah, exactly.
Yeah. It's interesting because Frodo is going on a journey just to emulate someone else. Primarily, he's also got his own reasons like save the Shire and stuff like that. But he's going the Bilbo route. He's doing the Bilbo thing. Those illusions keep being brought up all the way throughout this chapter. He is walking in the footsteps of somebody else rather than being his own person. Sam is just following after stories that he doesn't like really understands. He just kind of believes in them. He's also not really being his own person, and what we're going to see is the maturity of the hobbits comes out in that the story doesn't end in Rivendell. If the story ended in Rivendell, these characters wouldn't really change, but it's because the story keeps on going that there's a significant depth to it, I think.
Yeah.
At least to some extent.
No, I think that's right.
Cool. So, well, of course it is. I'm glad you understood the message. Okay, you also have this idea. Frodo is going to leave, and so in order to fulfill that, he sells his house.
Yes.
Bag End. Rip Bag End.
Yeah.
It was a cool place. But he goes back to his parents' area.
Yes.
His childhood home.
To Buckland.
That is fascinating. That gets brought up multiple times in this chapter, and that seems really important to me.
Yeah. So, like, within the story, it's like, is the perfect excuse.
Yeah.
Is if he's going to move anywhere, it'd probably be back there.
Yeah.
And that's on the eastern border of the Shire. Mm-hmm. So it's perfect excuse.
Very nice.
He just has to give up the house he grew up in to do it.
Very nice.
I don't know if there's anything more to it than that. Did you think so?
Oh, yeah, there is.
He is crossing a river to get there. Not in this chapter, but he will eventually.
Yeah. He is going back to where he grew up or where he was born. He's going back to his childhood, right? He's going back to before he settled in at Bag End. In many ways, Bag End was good for him because it was a place to grow up. It was a comfortable place. But in many ways, it's also bad for him because it's complacency. It's a picture of this is where you're comfortable. He's going back to the people that he's like related to but doesn't really know. He's going back to the place he hasn't been to in forever. He's getting out of his comfort zone. And so you see a picture of this. Actually, it comes up throughout the chapter. I'm going to bring this up at the end of the chapter.
Okay.
Because it's a very relevant theme, even in the last page, that he is returning to where he grew up. I'll talk about it later. Don't look at where it is. We'll get there. We'll get there. Yeah, I'll get to the end of this chapter, wrap it all around, and you'll say, "Wow, that was a glorious point."
You'll have to remind me.
Okay. I will remind you those very words. Bag End was formative for him in giving him comfort. And he said in chapter 2, right, having that comfort at home is so good for him as he's going out abroad. It was good for him to be at Bag End for a while, but it's also good for him to quit being at Bag End.
Yeah.
And so he sells it as kind of a metaphorical, he's not coming back. Bilbo never sold Bag End. He got to come back to it. He got to settle back down.
Yes. No, that is a really striking difference for all the similarities.
Yeah.
And he even says, even for just the quest of going to Rivendell, I don't know if I'll ever come back to the Shire.
Yeah.
Yeah. So that's already something on the table in his mind.
Yeah.
And I don't think he expects to get Bag End back either.
No. Yeah. And it's not a full-blown, I'm going all the way to Mordor right now, but it is I'm not really sure what's going to happen, but I might have to stake out in the elf territory forever.
I don't think he intends it either as like a burning the ships moment.
No.
But it is kind of like that.
Yeah.
It's something he's doing to soften suspicion and such, but he is like,
it's a mental reset.
Yeah.
Right, is what it is he has this thing holding him back, and so he gets rid of it. He jettisons that responsibility and goes ahead and goes off. Very interesting. Interesting. I did have a thought here. It's a weird thought, but Frodo and Sauron are kind of opposites, but they're also kind of the same.
I would need you to explain that. Yeah.
Yeah. Frodo is hiding, Sauron is seeking.
Yes.
Frodo is small, Sauron is big.
Yeah.
Frodo is mortal, Sauron is immortal. Frodo is a picture of light, Sauron is a picture of darkness. Right, and so you have those ideas. He's also, they're both only just now coming to a realization of what the stakes are. They're both only just now, like, understanding the ring exists and understanding that Frodo has the ring and understanding that the Shire is suddenly, like, a target for both of them. For Sauron, it's a target to come and destroy. For Frodo, it's a target to go and protect.
Yeah.
And so they're, like, this weird equal opposite thing.
Yes.
It doesn't work as well when you think Sauron is like this omnipotent god being and Frodo's just like some guy. But since Sauron is flawed and limited in those ways, Sauron's like more Hobbit-like than he wants to seem. He's more unaware of the world than he wants to be.
Sure.
And I find that interesting. I don't know if there's a great point.
Yeah, you could definitely push that too far.
But I made a point.
The things you said, yeah.
Interesting
symmetry or tension there.
Basically, Sauron's like Frodo 2.0.
Yeah.
If Frodo ever claimed the ring, he would become Sauron.
No.
Maybe
no.
Maybe not quite like that. Okay, so Frodo plans to leave. Gandalf does leave.
Yes, after 2 months.
I think that's right.
Yeah. He says, I've stayed here too long. Gotta skedaddle.
Yeah. Over 2 months, and then as soon as Frodo's plan had been finally arranged, he suddenly announced, I'm leaving tomorrow.
And he says, it's just a quick trip.
He says, I might be back in a couple of days. Yeah. It's not, he's just going off to get news and then return.
Yeah. Woo.
That does not end up happening.
Yeah.
Or at least not so quickly. I guess he never returns.
No.
He never comes back to the Shire. So
not when Frodo's there.
Yeah. He does say there's unsettling news from the south.
Yes.
I do wonder where in the south he's talking about. Because there's a lot of south, and also all of it's kind of unsettled. So I wonder if there was a specific thing Tolkien had in mind when he wrote that.
I think that's yet another thing that will be referenced in the Council of Elrond chapter.
Okay. The Council of Elrond is starting to seem kind of important.
It's sort of like Chapter 2 2.0.
Okay. Interesting. I'm interested in where that ends up going.
Yeah.
Because I'm interested in things from Chapter 2. I just find them unpalatable
They're out of the scope right
to
now. A lot of them.
to my personal preferences.
Yeah, yeah.
But I wonder if Council of Elrond will soften that and make that a little bit easier. It is interesting to see. So Gandalf is the arbiter of change, is like the title I have put on him, because every time he goes somewhere, something drastic happens.
He shows up where things are going down and tries to make them different a lot of times.
Yeah, or he shows up where nothing is happening and tries to make it different. That's what happened with Bilbo, right? That's what happened with Frodo. You're just sitting here. You shouldn't be sitting here. And
you should go
across the
rob
world.
a dragon.
Yeah, right. And so he comes in. He comes in and changes happen. But suddenly he finds it flipped around on him, where he expects to go somewhere for a day and then be back, and change has happened to him, and now he's gone.
Yeah.
And so, like, Gandalf was expecting to return and then doesn't return. It's not just, oh, that smart guy that I liked is gone longer than he thought he would be. This is the guy who's been a force for change in everyone else's life.
Yeah.
And suddenly he finds his life changed, and I have no idea what that's about, but suddenly I'm threatened.
And it really is like the tried and true technique of, we're going to see more growth if we don't have the really powerful mentor here.
Yeah,
so
absolutely.
This is the narrative purpose here.
Yeah. It is a book device, but it's also like, I have no idea what he just met.
Oh, yeah, sure.
But
like, the stakes
awful.
are really high, because Tolkien isn't just coming up with some half-baked idea for this.
Yeah, it's not, I'm going on a scouting trip. I'm going to beat the necromancer in the woods. Bye. But I'm sure it was better thought out in The Hobbit, maybe. I don't know. I haven't read that in a long time either. But to find Gandalf's plans reversed, when Gandalf has always had plans for other people, is mildly terrifying.
They'll also be unpacked at the Castle of Elrond.
Yeah.
But people start saying, "Whoa, Gandalf's delayed."
Yeah.
That never happens.
Yeah.
So, like, Frodo's uneasy, and people with more experience than Frodo are like, "Oh,
a wizard is never late. He arrives precisely when he
and he said he'd be here."
Yeah, and it's not just like a couple days late, right? Because that's happening in June, and
it's months.
It's September.
Months late.
Yeah, it's a solid 3 months that he's gone. Quarter of a year. That seems pretty rough.
Yeah.
So Gandalf is gone. He's out of the picture. We'll meet him later, I guess.
Yes.
Cool. You have this bit about Frodo leaving the Shire, and he does it. He throws a party.
Yeah. He has himself
Very Bilbo.
and like what, five other people?
4 others.
Falco, Frediger, Merry, Pippin, Sam.
Not Sam.
Oh yeah.
Sam's not there.
He's just a gardener. Okay.
Yeah. Actually, which is interesting, right? Because Bilbo's party is with 144 hobbits, that he leaves all of them behind, even Frodo, who he cares so deeply about.
Yeah.
Frodo's party is with everybody except Sam, because he intends to leave everybody behind. And so because if Sam was included, it wouldn't match Bilbo, because he would keep one of the hobbits with him. But instead, he has a party with all these people that, hey, he's related to some of them, and it's the last time he's ever going to see them, is the idea. I'm going on a trip eventually. Like, you'll walk with me to my house, and then you'll leave, and then I'll leave and never see you guys again. Sam will come with them.
Yes.
And so, it's an interesting, weird parallel between the two of them. There are a lot of parallels between Bilbo and Frodo and what he's doing. They walk off in exactly the same direction. They start quoting exactly the same song. They leave behind.
I love that song.
The same place.
Yes.
It's like Frodo is the second coming of Bilbo.
Yeah.
Almost.
Well, and just they're starting out the same way.
Yeah.
And that will make us appreciate the differences more.
Yeah. Yeah. The difference is like selling his house instead of
exactly
waiting to come back. That's
exactly right.
So that is very interesting. I like Frodo.
Yes.
He has enough personality even at this point to be like, I kind of like this guy.
Yeah. And that's where this chapter really shines, is we're getting the personality of the characters.
Yes.
Like
a silly personality
Frodo
sometimes.
Is reluctant and a little silly, but he's smart.
Yeah.
And he's a clever and brave guy.
Yeah.
And you can already see a lot of that.
Seeds of that will blossom later.
Yeah. Sam, I'd still stick to description of a hobbit's hobbit. He says, Frodo's like, it's time to go. He's like, yeah, I was just saying goodbye to the beer in the basement.
Might as well, I
That's
guess.
very hobbit-like. But then,
and just loyal, always dependable.
Yeah,
right?
loyal is the other thing.
He offers to take Frodo's pack instead of
when he's taking
when he has the lion's share of it already.
Yeah, which
he's just a cool
amazing
guy.
thing.
He's such a nice guy.
He said, basically, I can bear your burden too.
Yeah,
which
will
is
be
great foreshadowing.
Kind of relevant later. Yeah.
So, I think we're getting pretty clear characterization of Frodo and Sam.
Yeah,
and it's really cool. Really satisfying.
And also Pippin.
That's what I was gonna say. Is Pippin? We'll see more about him. He's when Sam seems a little bumbling or whatever.
Yeah,
it's just because he's like a gardener. He's a loyal worker.
Yeah,
he's not like a brainiac kind of guy.
Yeah,
but when Pippin does like similar things, it's like it's super different implication or impression.
Yeah,
is he's a bit of a lazy guy.
Yeah.
Like almost all his lines are about, I'm ready to sleep here.
Yeah.
Or something like that.
I'm tired. I've walked a lot.
He's either sleepy.
You go get the water.
He's either sleepy or sarcastic.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. He does treat Sam like a servant.
Yeah.
And I have that written down later on. It's just he is lazy. And Frodo is the one who says, you come get the water with me.
Yeah.
Right?
He's also the one sleeping in. Frodo gets him up.
Yeah. Yeah.
Yeah.
So Frodo is he's inspiring Sam to come with him on the journey, and also forcing him to a little bit. Yeah. He's inspiring Pippin to actually get up and do something. He will become like the inspiration for all the free peoples of Middle Earth ultimately. And so that's kind of the role he plays. Is he's strong and courageous and smart and stuff, not just for himself, but for everybody around him.
Yeah.
He starts being the center of it, which makes sense as to why ultimately he's the center of the fellowship and everything's built around him.
Yeah. So we're starting to see our young heroes, some younger than others, being characterized.
Yeah.
Yeah. You have the servant, you have the young, like Pippin is like from like a rich, powerful hobbit family. And he acts like that.
He does.
Yeah.
He does.
And he doesn't have like an adventurous... Well, Bilbo's a relative as well, but Frodo was raised directly by Bilbo. So he has like that adventurousness in his blood, you know. And Pippin, he's a bit more removed from that.
He's just a funny guy.
Yeah.
He is.
And
he is not intending to go further than Crick Hollow.
I think that's how he sees himself, is I'm a funny guy.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's kind of the sense you get from him.
He is self-aware, but not in the good way.
Yes.
Yeah. That's who Pippin is. So you have that. As Frodo is leaving his house, we already mentioned this, stranger rolls up to his neighbor and is looking for him. Frodo kind of, he overhears is it the gaffer who's talking?
Yeah, Sam's dad.
Yeah. So he overhears that side of the conversation, but he doesn't hear the stranger's side of the conversation. Thankfully, doesn't go over the hill and ask about it.
He thought about it, but
he
doesn't.
Did.
Yeah,
he did. Frodo has like a weird kind of sixth sense a couple of times in this chapter. I don't know if that's like a normal Hobbit thing or if that's...
I think there's something human or Hobbit about that.
Yeah.
Maybe we could tie that greater awareness to the ring.
Yeah.
Because it's also something that happens... Frodo doesn't know the Black Riders or the Nazgul Gandalf mentioned.
Yeah.
I'm pretty sure everyone else knows that.
I think that's probably safe to say.
Yeah. But it's always the sixth sense.
Yes.
Is I think it's just about always brought up when in connection to the Nazgul.
Yeah. Okay.
So, and there's a connection between the ring and them.
Yeah,
so
absolutely.
I think that might be it.
Which is interesting.
Yeah, it's just like an unintentional greater awareness perhaps tied to the ring there.
Yeah, we'll talk about that later. At least. I have a thing to say on that. It's just a thing of interest. Okay.
Sure enough.
Do you have anything else up until this point? They kind of start walking around.
No. Well, it's just very pleasant. It's Frodo was reluctant. He knows there's some danger, but up to this point, it's just very pleasant and friendly overall.
Yeah, and you can tell because Pippin gets tired and is like, all right, I'm ready to take a nap here. And Frodo says, let's go just a little further. Let's go find somewhere to camp or like whatever it is. And so even from that, you can tell Pippin is treating this like it's just a walk down to another house, which it is to him. But Frodo is pushing a little bit, like, sure, we can take a break, but like not quite yet. Let's go look for something else. And so he's not scared yet, but he is more inspired to actually get a move on. And they have 2 days or whatever it is to make the journey, but he wants to go ahead and make it in one. Like, he wants to go ahead and get this thing done. He knows he's not coming back after this, and so there's no reason to delay the inevitable for him, I think, is part of the implication there.
Yeah, he wants to wait for Gandalf, but he's a little uneasy about that, and he knows, all right, it is time to go. Yeah. And despite all his reluctance, and we'll see some more, he has resolved to do this, just like he did at the end of Chapter 2, and he's going to do it.
Yeah. And I don't know if there's a point to be made from it, but I'll make a point from it anyway. Gandalf's advice was go ahead and get out, right? Frodo already like set his heart on, I'm going to wait until it's my birthday. And it just so happens that even though it would have been better had he left much earlier, because he leaves on his birthday, he does get out. And so Frodo's not wrong. He's just like cutting it really, really close. I don't know if that's also a sign of his intuition, because he wants to stick around but says probably shouldn't, and then he heads out the door. And then it's more of the
any good that comes from this situation, I would chalk up to Providence.
Could be.
Yeah.
Could be. Absolutely. But he can tell that there are some things that should be avoided. And eventually waiting for Gandalf is like, okay, I need to stop.
I'd tie that back to Gandalf's advice, because he says,
go ahead
at the very latest, get out then.
Yeah. Could be. This is the moment as the journey begins, as they go take a nap. The perspective switches to a fox.
And this is like the only time this happens. Spoilers.
Okay. I was going to ask. That seems very, very odd to me. Do you have thoughts on like why the fox? Why does that happen?
Well, remember the framing is Frodo, maybe a bit of Sam. I think Frodo. Frodo's writing down his adventure. Yeah. And so he says, Tolkien says, Frodo would... There's like conflation here because Frodo didn't actually write this. It's Tolkien. But it'd be really, really interesting if we just had an innocent little creature wander by and say, that's kind of weird. Yeah. There must be something more to this. And there was, but he never found out.
He never found out.
I think it's just a good summary of things. Okay. It kind of goes back to what you were talking about last time a little bit. Like, what's necessary? That fox isn't necessary, but it adds characterization and foreshadowing things.
It does add some stuff. Yeah. It does. Mm-hmm. I'll go ahead and elaborate on what it adds.
Please.
Just for fun. I mean, this is a weird outburst where we break from a human character and we go to nature that's telling you that this is not normal. Right? I think it's right back to that idea. The Hobbit's nature, it used to be to wander. It used to be to seek new lands. It used to be to seek the elves and go and learn other things. But they've stepped away from that. And now the Hobbit nature is to settle. The Hobbit nature is to stay still and complacent and lazy in their holes. And yet a fox walks by and he sees hobbits out late at night sleeping on the side of the road, clearly going somewhere, and says, that doesn't seem right. Right? Because nature itself is telling you,
this is weird.
This is very odd, at least for hobbits now. Right? It didn't used to be.
Fair enough.
But now it is. And so I wonder if it's like, this is against the natural course of things as to how hobbits would see it, but it is actually what they should be doing. Frodo has a purpose in this. There's a reason for this move to take place.
Fair enough. That's fair.
I don't know if that's like it could just be the whimsy of like, what if a fox saw them? But I think there's also something else that's there that is.
Yeah. Well, I don't think you're pulling stuff out of the air there.
The fox was, but he didn't know it. Tolkien told me that.
Okay.
It was in the chapter. Yeah. So, journey continues. Pippin is kind of a brat. Frodo repeats Bilbo's poem.
Oh,
He doesn't know it's Bilbo's poem,
yes.
which is odd.
Well, not really.
Okay,
Bilbo's always writing poetry,
that's true.
so
Probably.
and that inspires Frodo to do the same thing.
Okay.
So he's like, I sort of remember this. I don't remember who it came from.
Yeah.
I think
It's just floating around, and he didn't
Yeah.
know who it was. Yeah. Okay.
I think that makes
Okay,
sense.
that would make sense. It is interesting as he is walking in the footsteps of Bilbo very literally.
Mhm.
He's going on the same road. He is going he is very much Bilbo too, but he's not going with dwarves. He's going with hobbits.
Yes.
Right? He's not going with the company of 13. He's going with the company of 1. He's not going to the Misty Mountain. He's going to the Elven City. He's not going to come back to Bag End. He's kind of understanding he's probably not coming back to Bag End, or at least even not the Shire for a very long time. And so he is. It's part of the fragmentation effect of like I've seen this character do this before, but this is also somebody new.
Yeah.
And so it's the same kind of stuff you were talking about in the last couple of chapters where this is a different story than The Hobbit. It's related, but it is different. So you have that's thrown in there as well. Frodo's journey is explicitly to get the ring gone
Yeah.
from the Shire, whereas Bilbo's journey, he happened upon the ring and he brought the ring back to the Shire. And so Frodo is like, he is Bilbo, but he's also the anti-Bilbo.
Yeah.
Which informs so much of his
That phrase works.
character arcs.
It does.
Yeah. Do you have other thoughts on the movement, the journey they're going on?
No, I don't think so.
Cool. Do you have thoughts on this stranger character, later identified as a Black Rider?
Yes. Later identified as a ringwraith or Nazgul. Yeah.
Well, later identified as one of the kings of men whom Sauron has corrupted.
Yes.
I can lore dive too, sort of,
Later
a little bit.
identified as Kamul the Easterling.
Oh,
No.
not him.
No, he knows. It probably wasn't that guy.
Okay.
There's like 3 different ringwraith names. That's one of them.
Oh, interesting. I didn't know any of them had names. I guess it makes sense.
I just had to one up you after.
Okay, well,
No, I think it's interesting. You're seeing, like, Frodo's scared when Gandalf is talking about the movements of the enemy and
Yeah.
like the reality of Gollum's like de-evolution and corruption.
Yeah.
But here's like some of the first like suspense writing I
Yeah.
think we see.
it's
And
a horror story.
Even in The Hobbit, there wasn't anything quite like this.
Okay.
But I think Tolkien does pretty well at it. Not with the first encounter with the Black Rider, but
The second one is definitely
the second one. It's just so vivid to me.
Mm-hmm.
It's like there's this gap between the trees where there's a deeper blackness. He can see the outlines
Yeah.
of the black horse and the big robed man.
Yeah.
And then he watches him get on all fours and crawl toward him,
He just
snuffling.
keeps going, yeah.
Like I wouldn't like to read that at nighttime, man. That's creepy.
It is an interesting picture.
Frodo has a sense of them. I think we can tie that to the ring, though it's never explicitly said anywhere.
Mm-hmm.
But the ring wraiths have a sense of him because of the ring, or at least are exerting some kind of influence. Because whenever they're near, he gets the urge to use the ring,
Yes.
which I think is a twofold kind of thing. Because
Mhm.
on one hand, it's like, oh, if I'm invisible, they can't see me.
Yeah.
Turns out that's completely wrong-headed, which we'll see in later chapters.
It's a good theory.
It's a great theory.
Yeah.
But it's interesting. His urge to escape
Mm-hmm.
is exactly what will reveal him to them.
Yeah. In a very real way, his fear is driving him to the ring.
Yes.
And it's like his fear is driving him to make a stupid decision.
Yeah,
He doesn't even
exactly.
know it, but
Yeah.
that's what it is.
Yeah.
The stranger or strangers, we don't actually know.
That's true. That's never revealed.
At least not in this chapter. There are multiple of them, but like who
Yeah.
knows if this is the same one or
yeah,
not.
yeah.
Whatever his name was from wherever his location was. Very interesting. I mean, they're shadows, basically. They are fragments of the big shadow, which is Sauron.
Yeah.
And so they're split off from him, but they become this kind of threat in the darkness, which up until this point, darkness has been a salvation for Frodo. He's using it to hide from people. He's using it to hide the fact that he's moving away. He doesn't want to reveal his life and times. He doesn't want to reveal all these things, and so he's using the darkness to hide. But it's the darkness is where the strangers walk around.
Yeah.
And so in that way, that becomes both a salvation and also a threat to him. The ring itself is both a salvation and a threat to him because it's extending his life. Isn't great, but it is like helping him live. It's also granting him the power of invisibility if he needs to get out of a situation, which he will a couple of times. And so, that can be very helpful, but also that is the greatest threat that there is. And so there's this weird balance that the ring has that's the same balance that the ring wraiths have. And I don't know how much Tolkien thought through that, but there's probably some amount of parallelism there that's supposed to be in there.
Yeah.
Yeah. Darkness is a threat, but it's not always.
Yeah, Tolkien. I'm thinking of. There's something I just read in the Silmarillion that had that same tension.
Just casually reading the Silmarillion.
Yeah. Enemy casting shadows.
Okay.
A hero takes advantage of the ability to hide there.
Interesting.
So I'm mostly seeing it the other way.
Yeah.
It's I guess bad guy shadows, and like a good guy can exploit that.
Yeah.
But you're right. I think we're seeing kind of the opposite here.
Yeah.
Frodo's like, we'll leave by night. People won't see us there. It's like, oh.
Yeah.
That's when these guys are at their worst, which we'll have expounded some more.
Makes sense of it because, Sauron is the shadow, and the ringwraiths are just fragments of it. They don't create the shadows themselves, but they do use them and manipulate them. So I think that's interesting. It's almost like the ring and the ring wraiths are connected.
Yeah.
They're probably relevant to each other. Who would have thought? There is special note made here that Gandalf, his absence is felt very strongly. Frodo wished now that Gandalf was there with them.
Oh, yeah. He'd know what to do about this guy, right?
Yeah, because Gandalf is, pardon me if you've heard this before, he's the guy who changes stuff. Or the Arbiter of Change.
I feel like I have heard this before.
If you've heard that title. I like that title. Because Gandalf's presence, as much as he makes normal situations much more complicated, he comes into Bilbo's life when nothing's wrong, and suddenly a lot of things are wrong, such as there are dwarves, such as now you have to go on an adventure, right?
Yeah.
He comes into Frodo's life when everything's relatively normal, and suddenly you have to leave your home and you have to leave everything behind. So he makes normal situations complicated, but he also makes complicated situations normal.
Yeah, he's the guy you want to have in a pinch.
Yeah, absolutely. He's the counterbalance to what's happening in the world in many ways. Which makes
I like that phrase.
Which
That's
makes
cool.
it very disturbing when the world does something and suddenly there is no counterbalance to it.
Where's Gandalf?
Yeah, if Gandalf was here, the writer wouldn't be a threat. But Gandalf isn't here. And so what in the world has happened to Gandalf where he's not there, he's not able to help? I know it's in the Council of Elrond.
Yeah. No,
we'll get there.
Not having that explained here is definitely a source of tension.
Yeah. Absolutely. But they do get away.
Yes.
Because elves show up.
Yes.
I don't like elves, but they are useful.
Now it's time to talk about Gildor of the House of...
Gildor. Ingolorian is his surname.
Yes.
Or his title or whatever that is. I don't know
I
how
feel
elf
like
society
it's more
works.
elves don't really have last names.
Okay. Yeah, elves aren't real. I wish.
He's of the House of Finrod. Oh, that's
yes.
cool. He's in the Silmarillion.
Finrod.
Yeah.
Yes.
Have to read.
Very cool.
Finrod is a cool guy.
Yeah, I'm sure he is.
Okay. Why don't you like elves, man?
Because
Why don't you like this elf?
This elf, okay, well, why do I like this elf is because he makes enough noise that the shadow guy runs away.
Yeah, because they're singing like a hymn, basically.
Yeah, something.
Yeah.
Something or other. I'm sure I would understand it more if there was
if you
more
could read Welsh
more understanding.
and made-up languages.
There is a walking song
Yes.
that happens before then.
Oh, you're right.
That Frodo and Sam give out. Or is it Frodo who's singing it, or is it?
It's all three of them.
Oh, all of them.
Yeah. I was laughing because we were talking earlier. Pippin's characterized by like sleepiness,
Yeah.
And the line he shouts that draws the ring wraith's attention is, "And now to bed,
Yes.
and now to bed."
I want sleep.
That's really funny.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So the stranger does appear again,
Yeah.
but then he's scared away because the elves make a bunch of noise,
Mm-hmm.
which is cool because the elves, I know they're supposed to represent divinity and light. I know. They're cool. They scare away the forces of darkness. I know. I just don't like elves personally. I think they have bad attitudes about a bunch of things, which is represented in this chapter. So I'll complain about that
No, go
in just
ahead.
a second. There is a question on like how is the stranger actually tracking them? There's a bunch about sniffing, which is kind of weird.
Super weird.
That's messed up. That's like I don't want to be tracked like that. I don't even know how that works.
I don't know either.
Yeah, so I don't know exactly how they're connected to the ring, but there is a connection there. And I think, I mean, in many ways, that's the secret to real horror is you don't know.
Yeah, I kind of think that's why Tolkien
Yeah.
included it is they shriek
Yeah,
and they sniff.
Yeah.
Like, that's weird.
they look like humans.
There's something auditory
but not.
you can grasp from them.
Mm-hmm.
Maybe it'd make a little more sense if they were silent or whatever.
Yeah.
But it's scary.
Mhm.
It's not unbelievable that
Yeah.
they would interact with the world like that.
Yeah, it's like you can hide from them, but you can't really hide from them.
Yeah.
And the less you understand about the parameters that they have, the more intimidating they have potential to be.
Yeah.
Which is
Put a
cool.
pin in that. That's
Okay.
I'd agree with that though.
Okay. Cool.
The less you know, the scarier it is.
Yeah.
Yeah.
That is usually how it goes. Usually. So, Frodo, whenever he's afraid, starts going for the ring, right? The fear of the stranger inspires Frodo to almost put the ring on. The ring is becoming his source of comfort, which is not a good picture.
Yeah.
But
yeah.
just like Bilbo before him and just like Gollum before him, he's starting to appeal to the ring, even though he hasn't even left the Shire.
It's like these guys are a bit scarier than the Sackville Bagginses.
Yeah. Yeah, and he almost put the ring on to avoid them. So suddenly we've got a much bigger threat. But the elves appear. Okay, why do you like elves?
Oh, I didn't say that.
Oh, you also hate elves.
No, these are cool elves.
Oh, why do you like these elves?
I like Tolkien's elves.
Okay.
I think a lot of people, as a larger conversation,
Okay.
I think when people were copying fantasy
Mhm.
or like Tolkienic fantasy,
Yeah.
they miss a key aspect of the elves. Is that elves
Are jerks.
act sort of like jerks or act like their
They
story
do.
is over
Yeah.
because their story is over.
Okay.
They've done so much at this point, and this is like a transitory phase.
Okay.
And it really is just like the very last smatterings of elves actually mattering in the world.
Okay.
And some of them are like, yeah, we've been here long enough. And I think most part they have.
Okay. That could be true.
Yeah.
I do not like.
Yeah.
I know that's what they say, and even what Gildor says essentially is like
We're heading to the Havens.
we're done.
Yeah.
But coming into this without the background of a Silmarillion and other associated writings, it's just like, okay, but like
Yeah.
you could do something.
I have a second swing to counter
Okay.
you. But
Yes.
do you have any other things to add to that complaint?
I mean, like why I don't like the elves
Yeah.
here. Well, I mean, I do think they are haughty. They are better than everybody else, but they also act like they're better than everybody else.
Yeah,
And that just
like
bugs
the
me
line,
personally.
We don't want to travel with hobbits. You're dull.
Yes.
That's what you're
like,
thinking about?
especially that. Just
Yeah.
like, there's no reason to say they know who Frodo is. They're on a first name basis with him, even if he doesn't know them. Like, they know who he is.
Yeah.
And then just like, yeah, you guys are boring. Why would we spend time with you? The only reason they do, which to their credit, they do protect the hobbits.
Yeah.
Right? They hear, oh, the Black Riders are after you.
Even-
Okay, hang
Even
out with
say,
us.
why
for
don't
tonight."
you walk in the middle of all of us even?
Yeah. So I mean, there are elements of like them doing good stuff, but like, why are they rude about it? I just don't get that. And I don't know, is there a difference between high elves and regular elves?
Yes.
Probably.
There is.
And so I don't know if that plays into it.
Well, as far as like arrogance or haughtiness,
Yes.
No,
high elves
high elves have more of a reason. They have like a reason to act that way.
Okay.
I think most of them act that way because they're immortal.
Okay.
And that's something
Which, again,
high
fair.
elves and low elves or whatever.
Mm-hmm.
Both of them are immortal. So
Yeah.
they both like, okay, we know more.
Yeah.
So there's this haughtiness that kind of comes naturally
Mm-hmm.
that way, I guess.
Yeah.
But yeah, a Nazgul. This isn't part of your question, but it just popped in my head.
Yeah,
I don't think a Nazgul would have been afraid of
regular elves.
just a wood elf or whatever.
Okay.
Yeah.
Interesting. Yeah, that's probably fair.
Not really relevant to like the elven attitude discussion.
Yeah.
But yeah, elven attitude. So I think Tolkien. I don't think Tolkien talks about this a lot, but I think part of it is like, "You're so dull. Why would we travel with you?"
Mm-hmm.
And they're not saying it like in a like jerky way or whatever.
Yeah.
They're just
Maybe.
well, no, they're laughing, and maybe that rubs people the wrong way, but they're being friendly. Like they're like this is just the way it is. Like,
Yeah.
it's not. They're not hating on Frodo or anything.
Yeah. Maybe.
And I think no, they're not. They're not hating on Frodo. But I think it is just like you might say something like that to a kid who's maybe even just 10 years younger than you,
Mm-hmm.
10 or 12 years. I think I've seen some of that actually.
Who, me?
Yes.
That's crazy.
Even you.
Not me.
And the gap between the elves and even the oldest mortals is immense.
Mhm.
It's like we're walking, we want to hang out with each other. We don't want to like entertain a kid.
Yeah.
I think that I can understand that. Like if they're just traveling and these people aren't in danger, I think that makes sense. Maybe they could have said it a little nicer,
Yeah.
but I don't think they're that unfriendly in the scheme of things.
Okay.
I
Interesting.
think that's sort of what it is.
Might be.
Of course, people like living on Earth being that immortal is a fantasy. So who knows?
Yeah.
But maybe it would make you act that way.
Yeah. I mean, they have an objective reason to be
Mhm.
like, yeah, we are better than you, because they are. But I don't like it when somebody insists that they are better than somebody else. And maybe that's just part of it.
Yeah.
And I don't know,
Well,
because
technically, it doesn't say we're better. It just says we would find you boring.
Yeah.
Which is
which
is sort of a it's not you, it's me argument.
Yeah. Yeah.
Technically.
Maybe. But
Yeah.
it's still, I mean, yeah, you can make several, like, you
Yeah.
can walk around the issue, but at the end of the day, they are just kind of insulting the hobbits.
I think they could take it that way.
Yeah.
But they don't, actually.
Yeah.
They
They don't.
accept that. They agree with the elves. Like, yeah, you would find us boring.
Yeah.
Yeah. So maybe you could think
Yeah.
about that too.
Yeah, but I don't know.
I
Is
can
that-
understand why it rubs you the wrong way.
Yeah, is that because the elves are actually like just joking with them, or is that because we just saw Black Rider? We did not like him very much, but you saved us from him, so we'll just say whatever it takes to just like hang out with you guys.
Yeah.
We're good here for the night.
Yeah.
I don't know.
From this interaction,
Yeah.
I don't think we can say certainly one way or another.
Yeah,
I think they probably would have reacted similarly.
Cool.
Initially.
fair enough. Fair enough.
but-
Well, I will be interested to see how elves are represented in the rest of the book, because I feel like especially a lot of like modern fantasy that, or like post Tolkien fantasy that takes them down the very high and prideful route,
Yes.
and
But the reason
also twists them to be actively kind of bad in a
Yes.
lot of cases.
yeah. With Tolkien's elves though is you were talking earlier, the
Mhm.
hobbits need to keep going to the west.
Yeah.
I think thematically that makes sense.
Yeah.
Even though technically that doesn't fit the rules and boundaries of Middle Earth.
Yeah.
But that does fit the elves.
Yes.
And Gildor, it's not something you could appreciate just if you're reading through this chapter. But Gildor, it says he's of the house of Finrod,
Hmm.
which is one of the Noldorian elves who are elves that went to the west and then left it.
Oh.
Yeah, they had all the blessings in the west, and they came back to Middle Earth because they wanted to do their own thing.
Huh.
And Gildor says, no, we're going back.
Okay.
So I think that's something to think about.
Interesting. Yeah. Like, okay, if I have that context, that makes what he does a lot more palatable. Because my issue with Gildor primarily, because he's the spokesperson for all these people, is he knows that Sauron is after Frodo, and he refuses to do anything about it.
Yes.
He says, well, good luck. We'll be gone in the morning, and then leaves it. Like, can he not just walk Frodo to Crick Hollow?
That's what I think.
Yeah.
You know? It's like, would that have been very hard? It would have been really helpful.
Yeah. If it's true that Gildor is like shepherding this people to try and actually get them to do what they're supposed to do, it would be irresponsible of him to drop all of that and go and escort Frodo.
And that's my final defense of Gildor. Yeah. And not just that he's shepherding them to do what he should do, but that he is a leader.
Yeah.
Tolkien, like, I think this when I read about Elrond. It's like, he's this powerful elf lord. Couldn't he do something?
Probably.
Yeah, he could. But I think Tolkien doesn't like ever come out and say this, but I think that there's a really strong implication that a leader needs to lead.
Yeah.
Gildor has a responsibility to his people. He can't just drop that for Frodo.
Okay.
Elrond has a responsibility to his people. He can't just drop that for Frodo.
Okay.
Which is interesting.
That makes sense to me.
Yeah. That's something I started appreciating more recently.
Yeah.
Just like, well, other people can drop things and go on quests. But maybe not these guys. They have a responsibility to other people.
Yeah.
And well, maybe we'll talk about this in more detail later. But
if you don't care for your own household, you're worse than an unbeliever.
Well, sure. Yeah. I think that's a neat connection.
If you don't care for your people, you're the scummiest of them.
I think that's probably a reason why everyone in the Fellowship is a bachelor.
Yeah. That would make sense.
It's like, I think the implication is like, don't go on a quest like this if you're married.
Yeah.
You know, because you have a responsibility to your family.
Yeah.
But all 9 of the people in the Fellowship are unmarried.
And no real potential for connections either.
Yeah.
Apart from like Aragorn maybe, but
yeah. That'll
nobody
be
else.
something to spell out later.
Because Tauriel already like got killed and stuff, so Legolas is free.
Oh my goodness.
Yeah, we don't talk about that. Hey, that's the Tolkien lore that I'm aware of.
And, you know, this is jumping the gun some, but I already started.
Yeah.
I think that's also a big difference we see between Saruman and Gandalf.
Okay.
I don't think this is even mentioned in Lord of the Rings, but it's mentioned in one of his writings that the wizards are commanded not to rule over people.
Okay.
And Saruman breaks that rule. And so that's the beginning of his corruption. Is like, he has this responsibility beyond the mission that was given him. Gandalf never rules over anybody. He's very forward with advice and stuff, but he always wanders around. He's not a ruler. His responsibility is completely to his mission. But Gildor has his people, Elrond has his people, and so on and so forth.
Interesting. Yeah, okay. Like, with explaining that, suddenly that means, I understand and, like, appreciate, actually, what the guy's doing.
Yes.
Just reading this is just, like...
Yeah, that's not something you get just by reading this chapter.
Okay.
And I think it adds to that elf vibe of...
Yeah.
They seem kind of aloof from things.
Yeah.
Which... That's how it comes across to most people, and even in the world.
Yeah. Interesting. I should read the Silmarillion.
Yeah.
We should do that at some point.
We should. 4
years down the road, when we get done with these 3, we can read a 4th one. Yeah. So that's very similar to the last chapter, which is like, here's all this information. I don't know what to do with it. As someone who hasn't delved into the Númenórean elves or whatever you just said a minute ago.
Noldor.
It's close enough. It's all Lord of the Rings. It's the same thing. And so I feel like if I had a greater appreciation for the overall world, I would be able to have a greater appreciation for the book, which is true for most series. But especially the complaint with the last chapter was there is enough here that is so complicated.
Yeah.
Like it's above and beyond what
Tolkien
you need to
wrote so much back history and legends that it does make a difference.
Yeah. It's like how the Marvel movies used to be. They used to make like a couple of references that you would pick up on if you're a fan, but if not, then that's fine.
Yeah.
But then you get 20 movies in, and suddenly, if you haven't seen these 3 TV shows and these 2 prequels, you're not going to appreciate what's actually happening. And I feel like he's erred a little bit in that direction because he has so much.
That probably is fair.
Yeah. Doesn't decrease the quality of the book. It just makes it a little more complicated to follow.
Is whether you interpret Gildor as being a bit haughty or sort of like lazy or whatever.
Yeah.
How you see him doesn't matter too much in the grand scheme of things.
Yeah.
So you get the main point even if you don't have the background information for him.
Yeah. But in the Lord of the Rings, the card game, Gildor Inglorian is 5 health, 5 attack, 3 defense, which makes him really good at killing stuff.
Oh.
Which is the only reason I know who he is.
Oh, that's funny.
Yeah. Have you ever played Lord of the Rings, the card game?
No, man.
It's great.
Okay. We should do that sometime.
Yeah. It's cooperative even. It's not competitive.
Hey.
You all play heroes and you go and fight the forces of Sauron.
Amazing.
It's very cool. I love Lord of the Rings related stuff,
You do.
if I don't understand all of the ins and outs of
really
it.
Funny.
Yes. So he's a green color, which means he's a lore type.
Okay.
Which means other thing. Yeah, I'll explain it to you when we play it one day.
Yeah, perfect.
So he does name Frodo Elf Friend.
Yes.
Which is cool, I guess.
It is cool.
I assume that's going to be
They
useful.
don't do that for a lot of people.
Yeah.
So
I get that that's rare. He does the one thing that I would push back on with Gildor, or like not push back on, but note about him is he is very insistent. Like Frodo says, this is my home. Why am I not safe in my home? And Gildor says, it's not your home.
Yeah.
Right. You hobbits think it's your home, but it's not. Like the world's changing. You need to change what you've always thought about the world.
Mm-hmm.
But then Gildor insists that I cannot do anything for you because our time is over. But it's like, okay, Gildor, but the world's changing. You can change what you've always thought about the world. So
Okay.
I wonder if that's like a
Both
little
ways.
bit of like, it's the same kind of, you've got a log in your eye, but you're trying to correct the speck in other people.
That's possible.
Yeah. Maybe it's more justified.
Yeah. I wouldn't read it that way.
Yeah.
I could see why you approach it that way.
Fair enough. Fair enough. So.
Yeah. I think maybe you would connect his comment to like what the fox was saying.
Yeah.
What
does the fox say?
No. But saying,
wow, this isn't part of nature.
Yeah, that's what I mean.
Yes. Of course, you wouldn't be referencing a one-hit wonder from the 2010s or whatever.
Oh my goodness. But saying,
that's a fun song.
Saying the fox is like, this is weird.
Yeah.
And Gildor's like, things are changing. You
Yeah.
can't just keep doing what hobbits have done all your life.
Yeah, absolutely.
I think maybe that's more what that's the sentiment of that
Absolutely. And if Gildor's backstory is this is a people who has been running away from the West all his life, maybe he is changing.
Yeah.
Maybe he is driving his people towards the West, which could be, I've recognized a failing. You also need to recognize a failing in your people.
I think maybe that's what it is.
Yeah, that could be much more legitimate. I just, reading it here,
no, you're right.
different, reading it in greater context, maybe a more nice way of looking at the elves. I still don't like them, though.
Yeah. Oh, my goodness.
Yeah.
I think, yeah, that's fair.
Yeah. Okay, do you have anything else on this chapter?
Yeah, do you?
I do. I have one thing. You're going to say I'm a genius or whatever I said earlier.
Okay.
It's a glorious point,
I
think.
just have a couple quick things to run through.
Go ahead.
Sometimes there's just a sentence that jumps out to me.
Yeah.
That's just good by itself.
Yeah.
And this one's kind of funny. It's like the hobbits are looking really tired and sleepy as they're walking. Or maybe it's like before they start walking together. He says, we'll go to Woodhall. And it's really far away. You'll be tired, but it will shorten your journey tomorrow. Which is a funny way to sell something. But it's true.
Yeah.
Like, it's just a simple proverbial kind of wisdom is if you do something now, you don't have to do it later.
Yeah. Which is something hobbits are not good at.
Yeah. So I thought that was worth bringing up there.
Okay, interesting. I missed that line, but
that's another thing I think is worth talking about. Earlier you said the Nazgul are scarier because Frodo has so many things he doesn't know about them.
Yeah.
But Gildor says the opposite. Frodo's like, Pippin's like, tell us about him.
That's true.
And Gandalf's like, no. Frodo's like, tell me about these. He's like, didn't Gandalf tell you?
Yeah.
No. It's like, well, if Gandalf didn't, I didn't. And later he says, I won't tell you about them lest
the fear
terror
of them is going to...
lest terror keep you from your road.
Yeah.
Which is almost like, if I knew what they were, I'd be too scared to go. I'm too scared to go.
And Frodo says, I can't be more worried than you just made me.
Even Frodo pushes back against that. But I think their adventure will prove Gildor right.
Yeah. No, fair enough.
And there's even like this ominous thing he says, which I bet before all this is done, Frodo, son of Drogo, you'll know more about them than I do.
That is an interesting...
That's extra. If he didn't want to scare Frodo, he shouldn't have said that.
Maybe not. Well, maybe he's just a mean person who wants to
No.
Yeah.
Maybe I'm stepping on your toes now. But the last comments I have.
Okay, go ahead.
One is, advice is a dangerous gift. Frodo says, there's a saying among hobbits, don't ask an elf for advice. He'll tell you yes and no.
Yeah.
Which is hilarious.
Which is true.
And true.
I hate the elves.
Well, he's just explaining things.
Yeah. They give a very fair and balanced view of a lot of things, which is not always helpful in deciding what to do.
Yes. Yeah. And Frodo's like, really just need advice. And then Gildor says, for the sake of our friendship, I'll tell you.
Yeah. But it like pains me to do so.
Yeah.
I don't want to do it.
I think there's something, it's sort of humorous.
Yeah.
Or tedious for Frodo to have to listen to both sides there. But it's true, like, be careful about the advice you give.
Yeah.
Sort of like taking that proverbially as well.
Mm-hmm.
It's like,
probably good. Probably wise.
So elves seldom give unguarded advice.
Yeah.
It's like, we really want to be careful with what we push people to do.
Mm-hmm.
And I've known some people that aren't careful with advice, you know? Yeah. Okay. Yeah. Those are Andrew's tidbits here.
I would probably, like, in the moment, that's something that frustrates me, is when people will not just, like, when they won't give me the advice that I want, which is essentially when they won't tell me what to do so that I don't have to make a decision.
Yeah, which is definitely what Frodo's looking for here.
Yes. And so it is good and wise that the elves withhold that instead of just, like, telling him, you should definitely do this thing. It would be very frustrating to me in the moment, but I can recognize the wisdom in that and appreciate it.
Right.
So, so last point, it's a glorious point.
Are you a genius? Let's see.
I am a genius. You will see.
Okay.
I hope. You actually already said the line, right? You already mentioned it. You just made a completely different point from it. He calls Frodo the son of Drogo.
Yes.
Frodo is not Frodo Baggins.
Yeah.
He's not Frodo of Bag End. He's not Frodo of the Shire. He's Frodo, the son of Drogo.
Oh no. Okay.
Yes, right. And so back to the very beginning of the chapter, which is
he's
selling...
sold Bag End. He's moving back to Buckland.
Back to the childhood home.
Yeah.
And he starts being identified with his parents as well.
Okay.
And so his legacy is going. He's no longer related to Bilbo anymore, right? He's no longer related to Bag End. He's no longer a Baggins. He's going back to his roots, which is the adventurous child who went out and did all sorts of things when he was a kid. Who was going beyond the boundaries of the Shire. He is rejecting, in many ways, he is halfway rejecting his legacy as a Baggins, and he's rejecting the complacency that is downtown Hobbiton for the wandering that he used to do. And so I do think there is a running theme in this chapter of taking what's behind you and putting it behind you and pressing forward to what's ahead, which would be a biblical kind of concept to throw in the end there.
Interesting. I'll have to think about that some more. Yeah. Like,
it's intentional that it's son of Drogo and not something else.
Yeah.
Because Frodo doesn't know them, but they know Frodo.
Yes.
And
so we've seen you in the forest. You never saw us.
Yes. Yeah. So it's fascinating that they would know him as the son of Drogo, which he hasn't been called in the last, 50 years or however long it's been. It's been so long, and yet that's how they define him.
I think there's a point to what you're saying.
Yeah.
There's also the very almost disappointingly mundane explanation, which is the hobbits use names like more modernly, for if that makes sense, like first name, last name.
Yeah.
But like you'll see like the men of Gondor and Rohan and even the elves
Yeah.
say things, and even the dwarf. Everyone except the hobbits
Yeah.
says person, son of person.
Reference to the ancestry.
So we're going to see like
Yeah.
everyone starts referring to everyone like that.
Yeah,
But that doesn't discount everything you're saying.
Yeah, I mean, even that adds into it. Is he's right? His adopted father is not who he is. He's like his real father, which is a brandy buck the whole time. Which is what the Sackville Baggins said a couple chapters ago. Which they're not right on, but they are kind of right on.
Yeah.
It
goes back to what you have been especially saying, which is there's a lot of similarities to Frodo and Bilbo. There's some important differences. Yeah. And that's definitely true.
He comes from a different line. His I don't know all the answers to the question of nature versus nurture, but his nurture has been Bilbo, but his nature is Drogo. And he ends up being a weird combination of both of them.
Okay.
But ultimately both of them are going to come through.
Yeah.
In where he's going.
Interesting.
So he has he's got a calling, and even when he asks a question about Bilbo, Gildor gives like, I saw him a couple times, but then he won't tell anything about Bilbo because it's really not about Bilbo anymore.
Yeah.
And he identifies Frodo with Drogo
That's
instead.
true.
So Frodo is becoming his own man. Maybe he wants to be, maybe he doesn't, but he's starting to separate from that lineage, and it's turning him into something different.
That's true.
So I think that's
okay.
I think there's something in that last
There's something.
line. Yeah.
There's something.
Interesting.
Yeah.
Okay. Anything else on chapter 3? I've run out of notes.
Yeah, last thing is just
It's just that was a glorious point, wasn't it?
that was a glorious point.
Let's go. I got him to say.
I
okay.
think another thing is so Gandalf says don't go alone.
Yeah.
Frodo's like, okay, that makes sense.
Yeah.
Gildor says, here's my most important advice. Don't go alone. Take people you trust.
Yeah.
We'll see like at the end of the book, that's something Frodo hasn't learned.
Yeah.
And even a couple chapters from now, we'll see there's still some. Frodo doesn't really like that idea.
Yeah. Yeah, because I mean, he keeps trying to tell people to quit.
Yeah.
Right. He keeps trying to spare everybody else from the hardship that's about to happen.
Yes, exactly.
But what he doesn't realize is the people who are with him are the only reason he's going to get through the hardship.
Yeah.
And that's going to be the driving force of the rest of the book. Is you can't do the journey alone.
You need a fellowship, you know?
That's crazy. Do you think they bring up the concept of a fellowship in this book?
Yes.
Oh.
I think they only say it like one time.
Yeah.
They say company more, at least.
Mm.
They probably say fellowship more than once. I'm being crazy. But
There are people.
yes.
There are people. Or elves.
Or dwarves.
No, dwarves are people too. Elves are just not real.
Oh my goodness.
It's different. Oh, maybe I would be sympathetic if I actually read their history, but that'll be a few years.
It's a very different kind of book.
Okay.
But anyway, yeah, I think that's all I have here.
I'm curious.
Yeah.
Okay, cool. Well, next time we'll do chapter 4 then.
Yes, a shortcut to mushrooms.
Ooh, they reference that in the movie.
Oh my god, that's another big gripe.
They do. What, did they put mushrooms in the movie?
How they put mushrooms in the movie.
How they put mushrooms. Ah, yes.
Farmer Maggot is a cool
terrible.
guy. He's just a scythe in the movie.
He is a scythe in the movie, which is a good bit. Have you ever played the Fellowship of the Ring video game from the PS2?
No.
There's a whole level in it where you have to run around and steal mushrooms.
That's
they're
hilarious.
like there are dogs in the field and you can get killed by the dogs, which is wild.
Oh my goodness.
Honestly, in my book, chapter 2 was about 25 pages. Chapter 3 was about 25 pages. Chapters 4 and 5 together are about 25 pages.
Yeah.
And so we might do both of those next time, 4 and 5 together.
Yeah.
Okay.
We'll see.
Cool. We'll see. We will
less.
read 4 and 5 and then see when recording through it how long it takes. Yeah.
Okay.
These run on for a little bit. Okay. Well, if you're reading with us, then go ahead and read 4 at least and 5, and you'll know by the title of the video what you should.
You can
read.
always pause and read some more.
You can. You can. Okay. We'll see you then.